Hi everyone, welcome back to Mama Mentality. I know it's been a while since I last posted a video, but I'm back and I'm ready to give you guys more content and just more exciting stuff about my experiences and everything that's going on in my life. So just to jump right in, I haven't forgot about the Q&A video that I was supposed to post over a month ago, which is obviously what the video is about today. I'm actually glad that I'm posting the video now because I feel like I'm better able to answer these questions compared to where I was a month ago because a lot of things change. I got my cafecito and let's get started. So the first question is best marriage advice. My best marriage advice has to be to always remember to be your own person. I think a lot of the times when we are in a relationship and in a very committed relationship, it's easy to get lost in the other person and it's easy to try to compromise your needs and things like that. But I strongly believe that when you have a partner, you still need to be complete on your own because no matter what happens in this life, you're always going to have yourself. So you might as well prioritize yourself and prioritize your needs as much as you possibly can. And if you have a partner who is understanding of your needs and willing to meet you halfway, then I feel like that makes for a much better partnership. Where did you get your daughter's name from? And I got her name from when I was working in elementary school. There was this little girl, her name was Giovanna. I thought that was such a beautiful name because I've always heard Giovanna, not Giovanna. And I found that like the beginning of her name so beautiful, Gia. And I was actually torn between naming her Gia and Gianna. I just thought that having it a little bit simplified and just naming her Gianna was beautiful. Her name actually represents it symbolizes grace, the grace of God. And I thought that was really beautiful because she really is the grace that I needed in my life. So it fit perfect. The next question is, how do you implement self-care every day? What and when? Self-care for me is not something you do. I feel like self-care is energy. So how you perceive that energy is everything. So what I mean by that is, yes, self-care can be going and taking a bubble bath or going and getting a manicure, pedicure. Yes, that's great. Do it if that works for you. But a lot of the times we don't have that available to us, especially when we're constantly so busy or we just don't have time for it. So some little things that I do for myself that I describe as self-care is waking up early in the morning around 4 or 5, just so I know that I have enough time to get myself ready to truly wake up and just come back to my body. And it feels good to make that small time for myself before everyone wakes up or before the day begins. Another self-care thing that I do for myself is I go to bed early. I eat breakfast every morning. These are very simple things. I think self-care can be such a buzzword. I feel like that's what makes it feel out of reach for a lot of people, is they think that they just don't have time for self-care. But it really is those little things in the day, even if it's paying your bills on time or going to the grocery store and checking all the stuff off your list. Those are a form of self-care, even though we don't realize it. That's why it's how we put our energy into the things that we do in life, is what I mean by self-care being energy. So really thinking about these things as you go about your life And as you go through your day, acknowledging the things that you got done or the things that you did for yourself, that's a form of self-care because you are taking better care for you and your future self. So the next question, of course, this question is super deep. It says, what are you holding on to that's holding you back? Definitely, I would just say like self-limiting beliefs that I have gone through my life. I made myself believe were true but aren't, such as like not being good enough, it being impossible to succeed and reach further than what I was surrounded by or what I saw growing up, and just like having abundance in my life, whether that be financially or love, relationships, even just for myself. It's just like that scarcity mindset that I feel like I'm trying to learn from. And so I wouldn't say there's anything really holding me back, but I do see the things that I'm working on to stop myself from letting it hold me back. Next question. Were you anxious moving to Japan? Absolutely. I was very anxious from the moment we found out we were moving, from the moment we left San Diego, from the moment we landed in Japan. Yes, I was very anxious. It's just kind of scary, walking into the unknown and not knowing anything about a place that you're moving to can be very intimidating. I think it's very normal to feel anxious whenever not only moving to a new location, but a completely new country. I think the thing that really just kept me sane is knowing that there are so many other people, military spouses, that have been in my situation, and I'm not alone, and I won't be alone, even when it feels like it. Favorite thing about Okinawa so far? The customer service. Literally anywhere you go. If you're in the States, just think of it this way. You know the customer service you get at Chick-fil-A where you just leave Chick-fil-A and you're like, damn, that was some good ass service. That's literally what it's like everywhere. McDonald's, the convenience stores, everywhere. They are just extremely kind and generous. And they make you feel, when you leave the store, they make you feel like just good. And it makes me realize how just those small interactions that you have with people, even if you are working in customer service or just when you come across a stranger and ask them how are they doing, it makes such a huge difference in someone's day. That's like the biggest thing I'd probably have to say is just my interactions with the locals here. How is the move to Japan, and how are you dealing with being far away from family? So far, this move, it's had its ups, it's had its downs, it's had its plateaus where things are just coasting along. The move itself was really challenging just because you have to communicate with a lot of people, and there's a lot of times where you're just like walking in circles and not really knowing when you're gonna find a house or things like that. It can be very stressful. Now I'd say I'm in a pretty good place. I think being away from family, I have to change my perspective on it. It's easy to dwell on the fact that I'm not gonna be with them during holidays and during special moments. That's very challenging to accept, but the way that I'm looking at it is I am going to be gone for 3 years. That's 3 years of my life. Never in my life would I have imagined that I was going to live in a different country. And the fact that I'm receiving this opportunity, I have to do this for myself. I have to be able to just embrace this experience for me and for my family, my husband and my daughter, of course. But it's so important that we acknowledge that, as especially when you come from tight-knit families where you're just, that's all you've been around your entire life. It's hard. It is hard, but it's just a small chunk of your life that you're gonna get to explore something new, and I'm okay with that. I can live with that. So this last question, how are you liking living in Japan? So it's weird. You go through like phases when you live here. I don't know if anyone else felt this way, but for me, so I was like anxious, nervous, then I was excited, and then I got here and we found a home and I was like super excited, and I was just like on this like almost like a honeymoon phase where literally everything about Japan was freaking awesome and incredible, and I love it so much and I just want to soak in all its awesomeness. And then things start to kind of settle in and you realize, oh wow, like I'm in a different country, I'm having to start new, I'm having to create new friendships, establish myself as a professional, things like that. And then it's like, oh crap, this is kind of hard and it can feel a little bit lonely. I have met a lot of people here and I love the interactions I have with meeting new people and also just like getting to know other people. But it definitely takes time to create your village again. And I'm okay with that, but it does get lonely a little bit. And I'm just trying to be as realistic as possible because I know that it can be very easy to glamorize living in a new country, but there are definitely also some setbacks and some cons. But what I'm learning more about Japan is just like the cultural differences, and there are some major cultural differences that I am not really accustomed to. I think now as I'm working more and I'm meeting more people, I am finding my place more and more, and it feels good, and I am making this place a home, and that's all that really matters. I also feel like my family, me, my husband, and my daughter, we are just a lot more connected, and we are able to really spend quality time together that is just so foundational for our family, and it just feels really good because that's kind of like the perks of living in a new country is you really have your family as your primary source of, support. So you really got to make sure that it's strong and stable, because if not, it can make this experience a lot more challenging. So this leads me to these last questions, which is how do I handle being away from my baby every day for work? And you need tips. So at first it was really hard to leave my daughter, and she cried and she cried and she cried. I realized that it's actually harder on me than it is on her, because I would even call her school and be like, how is she doing? And they'd be like, oh, she's dancing, she's having fun. And then that made me realize, like, you know what? This is so vital to her development as her own little person. And I keep reminding myself that yes, she needs mommy and she loves mommy and she's attached to mommy, but she's also her own little human, and she's learning about interacting with other people and learning new things. And it just makes me happy knowing that she's getting that type of stimulation. I think just reminding yourself that it's okay that it's hard to be away from baby. Like, we freaking grew these humans inside of us. And it's also okay to allow them to be their own little humans, because I feel like what our job is as parents is to guide our children to, be able to live a purposeful and fulfilling life. And I think a part of that journey is to just allow them to be their own little human, even though it's hard, especially when they're little. Like, you just want to hold them and squeeze them all the time, but you're not alone. And I hope that you aren't being too hard on yourself. You are doing an incredible job. You are doing the best that you can. And I think that alone just says a lot about the strength and resilience of mothers. We are just really just doing the best we can, no matter our situation or position. This last question is, how do I maintain a family and work-life balance? I think the best thing for us has been having a schedule, having routine, and preparation. So it's very simple preparation that I do. Like, I put my clothes out for the day, for the next day. I put my daughter's clothes out. So just having simple routine and simple schedules is literally been a lifesaver for me, because we know what time frame is meant for what, and we don't feel exhausted, completely exhausted, if we're like running around trying to figure out what we're gonna do for dinner and things like that. So just trying to make your life a little bit easier by preparing what your evening routine looks like and what your morning routine looks like. That's what's been the best for us. I do want to say that I am going to be doing a giveaway, and I'm going to be giving away a $25 Amazon gift card. So the way that you can enter for this giveaway is very simple steps. So all you gotta do is take a screenshot or a picture of you watching this video. So make sure I look cute. You could take a picture right now because I'm smiling and I look cute. Okay, and all I need you to do is make sure you're following me on my Instagram, mama_mentality, and share that screenshot to your story and tag me. That's all you gotta do to enter in this giveaway. So screenshot, follow me on Instagram, and tag me in your story. That's it, 3 simple steps. So if you want a $25 Amazon gift card, let me know by following those steps, and I will choose a winner by Wednesday, which will be Tuesday in the States. So make sure that you enter as soon as possible so you have a chance to win $25 Amazon gift card. So if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. My name is Rochelle, this is Mama Mentality, and like always, I am sending love and light your way. Feels so good to say that again. Okay, bye.